What's up, everyone? So I'm gonna do this recording. I'm gonna review a tournament I played yesterday. It was a $40 buy-in on WSOP. It goes off about 2 p.m. Pacific time. Pretty good tournament. I'd like it to get more people, but usually the mystery bounty tournaments are the tournaments that get the biggest field. Those are the most popular tournaments. So those are the ones that I try to play as much as possible, simply because of the value. But I jumped in this tournament. Um, as you can see right on the screen, I'm picking this up with 2 tables left. I was the chip leader, probably had about probably like 30% of the chips in play, and was making a lot of plays, able to use my stack to pick up a lot of small pots, which is great. And I kind of made a mistake. Might not have been a mistake, but guy limped in on. Well, we'll get to that. I won't go too deep, but just to show you, first place is 1174, second place 837, third place 648. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna skip forward on a lot of this, but give you an idea of like some of the stuff that I do on the bubble. Um, so as you can see the layout now, I'm over here again 686,000. The second person has about 300,000, and they're at a different table, so that's great. My table layout is pretty much ideal for the situation. I'm just going to be looking to raise almost the majority of the hands I have, and I don't have to really call all ins unless of course I'm going to be getting pot odds most of the time, but I don't really have to call all ins unless it's like an ideal situation, meaning like if they shove into me and they shove the small blind for 8 big blinds, and I'm in the big blind with ace two or something like that. You know, I don't need to make any unnecessary gambles in situations like that with hands that are going to be speculative. So that's kind of like my mentality right now. All right, so first hand, this guy goes all in for less than 2 big blinds in early position. I don't know what led him to be so short stacked. And of course, he gets called. Pretty standard. He's got to call 8-4 there. A guy makes a straight. So this is going to bring us down to 9-handed. It's still going to be 2 tables. All right, so this is actually the hand. So this guy limps in now. He has 17 big blinds, and I'm guessing he was trapping me he was trapping me right from the beginning. So well, excuse me, no. So he makes a standard raise. Now I decide to shove it all in, and this is all situational. We're on the bubble of the final table, um, four-handed table. The and he makes a 3x raise, and I decide to shove all in. Honestly, there's no really good way to play this hand. Twos is going to be you're going to be coin flipping against anything, and then you're going to be underdogs against all other big pairs. So it's not an ideal hand. And the reality, after I thought about this, I should have folded this hand. And the reason why is because I'm just able to pick up so many stacks, so many chips. And this guy, the mere fact that he's raising out of position into me, if I give him credit for being like a sensible player that knows what they're doing, he should be raising only hands that he's ready to go all in. So I should have known he was going to be pot committed, and I couldn't just plow it in and get him to fold. That was my thinking in this hand. So of course he makes a standard 3x raise. I go all in. He calls. He has pocket kings, and it's not the end of the world for me. I'm still the chip leader, but I thought about this hand, and really at this point leading up to this, I was kind of like a bull in a china shop against these guys, which is another reason why I should have considered just folding that hand. But not even consider. I should have just folded that hand. So you see, in this situation, very next hand, I get ace 10, blind versus blind, and I can just ship it all in and make this guy make a decision for, if he wants to risk his tournament. Ace 10 playing heads up, against a random hand is gonna be good most of the time. So, all right, there's action on this other table. They're also on the bubble. obviously. So let's kind of see what happens here. All right, so they get ace nine versus ace nine. Fast forward a little bit. All right, eight deuce. I just decided to fold. Kind of let these guys go at it, see if they bust a bubble. My kind of thinking is I'm going to be pot committed against these guys, so I just decided I'm gonna roll with a hand that's a stronger hand, and really just shove it all in and make them make a decision if they want to keep playing the tournament or if their hand is strong enough to proceed there. All right, so I got 8-6, so decide to make a standard raise. This guy ships all in. Pretty certain I'm just folding this here. All right, so king jack suited. All right, now this is an interesting hand. So this guy, the money was going to get in regardless, but this guy here with pocket threes, I see a lot of people doing this, particularly in sit and goes, where they will limp, and it's almost like they're just trying to trap you to see if you would shove all in on them. But with threes, you're going to be basically the best you can hope for is being a coin flip, unless somebody has like ace deuce or king three or something like that. So you should just be shipping it all in. Now, if he would have won the hand, he'd increase his chip stack by like 30%. So he should have just been shoving this button with pocket threes every single time. Now, again, I had king jack suited. I would have called his shove, and especially I would have called because now this guy has some chips. I'd like to see just a pay increase go as opposed to situations where when we started off this final table bubble and I had so many chips in play, I could have really just manipulated and continued to win a lot of small pots. But I don't have that same because I got this guy here that I kind of got to be conscientious of. So I just decided to make the call. I know I was like way ahead of his range in that situation. All right, so start the final table. So I'm just gonna pause this real quick. It's a good setup for me at this final table. I got the small stacks to my left, and then the 1, 2, 3 stacks that are bigger to my right. I do start the final table as a chip leader. This does not go as good as I would hope typically. I mean, poker tournaments are never going to be ideal. There's always going to be a ton of different things going on, and but first hand I get ace 10, and I'm raising into these smaller stacks. They have this one guy here with 7 big blinds, so people are looking to move up the chip, move up the pay scale. So I go ahead and raise. So flop top, or excuse me, top and bottom pair on a high board, ace 10 jack. Um, I would think with his stack with about 17 big blinds to start the hand, he'd probably be probably not a situation where he's going to just set mine with a small pocket pair. I would think that if he had a pocket pair, he probably would have shifted it all in on me. So I am a little bit worried about big drawing hands he might have had, queen jack, king jack. Um, I would even be worried that he would just call out the blinds with ace jack. I think ace king, ace queen, he'd probably ship it in on me. But a little, I'm probably not getting away from that hand if he was a go all in that situation. All right, so blinds go up. Just gonna fast forward a little bit here. All right. Pretty sure this guy doesn't get it in here because I think that these are the two guys I was three-handed with at the end. All right, so I think this is a hand that that kind of cripples me. I got pocket eights. All right, yeah, so I got pocket eights and obviously in the big blind here against a button raiser, and he 3x raises. He starts the hand with about 20 big blinds, and I just decided to shove it all in on him. I think this is all pretty standard against his range. Um, of course, I got the big stack, and I'd be happy just to win this pot right here. But I believe that yeah, I ran into pocket aces, so of course it's just kind of unlucky. Button versus big blind, he could have a wide range of hands that he's raising here, and so as my first downward trend in this tournament, now I'm have to reevaluate everything. Switched up my strategy from really just trying to pick apart a lot of small stacks, make raise a lot, to now I'm just kind of waiting around and waiting for some of these small stacks to bust out and just move up the pay scale, play kind of the ICM game. And of course, I'm playing an ICM game with a large stack as well, but it's just I'm have to employ a different strategy. All right, so this is pretty standard: ace queen versus ace 10, button versus big blind. They get it. They get all their chips in, and so now we're down to 7. I'm in 4th place at this point. All right, so if it folds to me, so I think I considered. I remember this hand. I was kind of glad this guy raised because I would have did the same thing. And I'm trying to avoid any unnecessary conflict, but I knew that this guy Johnny Talker was a pretty passive player, so I would have probably raised him up. Now, as far as short stack play, this guy here, I'd just be looking to either get my money in, unless he was going to do a stop and go. He was going to shove this flop no matter what. I wouldn't call like 20-30% of my stack and then be put in a situation here. I'm pretty sure he folds this here. All right, so Jack 2, if it folds me, pretty certain I'm just folding. So this guy min raises under the gun. Pretty sure that for him to do this, he'd have a pretty strong hand. I forgot how this hand went down, but oh, it made okay. So yeah, so he min raised with pocket kings. Now this is an interesting situation for this large stack here against an under the gun min raise that's representing basically 20% of his chips. That when he made that, I think he started a hand with like 11 big blinds. Pocket eights, you know, these are spots that I should probably consult. Just so you know, like a little bit about me, I've never used any of the programs like GTO Wizard, things like that. I've never really had like a lot of any type of private coaching outside of talking to people about different hands, and I'm really curious to see how a lot of big time pros would play this situation with the pocket eights, because it's against that under the gun razor. I knew immediately that guy had a really strong hand. I don't think that he would even do that with 7s, 6s, 5s, etc. Probably ace king, ace queen, and then high pocket pairs. So I don't even think he would do that with jacks and 10s. I think he'd probably just shove it all in and try to use all of his fold equity, because he wouldn't want somebody to just sneak in for one extra big blind, and then from there be able to get sucked out on. So he's pretty much trapping that 2 big blind raise. The min raise was pretty much trapping with the kings. Of course, he flopped top set with 3 clubs on the board, so he ended up just getting it all in, which was ideal. And this guy had pocket eights with just one overcard, excuse me, and then he had a club draw. So he ended up calling, and I just kind of think when you have a stack that big, it's almost better just to let some of these smaller pots go in a speculative situation, and then continue to be able to just utilize your stack to pick up a lot of small pots and kind of push people around. So it's a very close spot. I mean, like I said, I'm very I'd be very interested in talk to a bunch of pros, guys much better than me at multi-table tournaments that have won a lot more money. Just see how they would handle the situation. I mean, it could be completely standard getting it in, but I'm just curious. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording. I'm at the 15-minute mark. I'm gonna try to keep these videos short. Make maybe like 4 videos of about 15 minutes each, and I'm gonna pick up right here where I left off.